Hi, today is June 6, 2024, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 874 for the year, The Limb. For the severed limb of the tree life is humiliation and struggle. Left on the sidewalk like a useless thing, the limb slithers and slides and slowly inches its way toward what? What does it strive for? What does it seek? What does it want? To get further away from the tree that it was once part of? Is it looking for a car to crawl under, to lick its wounds and hide from judgmental and uncaring eyes? Its double helix remains mesmerizing, and back before the severance it must have been glorious to behold. Perhaps a child once climbed the tree and sat on the limb and dreamed of becoming an investment banker or some other type of vulture capitalist. Perhaps that child grew up and joined the community board that led the fight to have the limb removed because it was a hazard, hanging too low or something. Well, the limb certainly hangs low now, and although I believe there is still some life within it, today I mourn for the limb. Poem number 875, The Dogs of Peace. A concerned Doberman pinscher said to a collection of canines, "The dogs of war have gotten out of hand. We must band together and form the dogs of peace." "Dobie is right," said Bully, a pit bull. "Those obnoxious, rabid, jingoistic dogs are giving the rest of us a bad name." Boxy the boxer, always a bit of an alarmist, said, "Plus, if we don't form the dogs of peace, those rat bastard cats will form the cats of peace and make us dogs look even worse than we do now." Most of the rest of the dogs nodded or barked in agreement. Dobie came to attention and said in a solemn and authoritarian voice, "I hereby form the dogs of peace and declare that we are dedicated to the destruction of the dogs of war." This sounded rather combative and threatening to most of the rest of the dogs, but they quickly assented. Rhoda, the largest of the Rottweilers, said, "What about the cats? Because Boxy is right, we can't let those cats off the hook." The dogs of peace quickly passed a number of militaristic resolutions and adjourned for the day, while on the other side of the hill the cats were organizing. Poem number 876, Too Little Too Late. Yesterday morning, once the poems had been written and performed and posted, I had done everything except for one thing that I was supposed to do before leaving home, and I decided finally to give up on the one thing and accept that I couldn't do it and move on. And as I was walking to the front of the subway platform, sad and angry and self-absorbed, I heard someone happily say, "John." I was in no mood to interact with anyone, even though there was probably nothing that would have helped me more than to have been present for that person. So I listened for a few moments, then said a few words, and then left. Once I got into the subway car, I sent a text apologizing for my rudeness, along with an update on my current shit. I felt freed from the bondage of my sad and angry self because I had reached out. Too little, too late, perhaps, but maybe better than nothing. Poem number 877, Notice How. Notice how little detail was provided about the other person in that last one. No description, no name, no gender, no context. Notice how I don't say how I met them or how long I've known them, as if they have no personhood, no humanity. Granted, their humanity, or lack thereof, is irrelevant or at best incidental to the story I was telling about what a dick I was. But also notice how, by making the story almost exclusively about myself, I provide further evidence of what a dick I was. And the last poem of the day, poem number 878, You Are. It has been said that every man and every woman is a star. All I know for sure is that you are. The heat and the light and the love warm and enlighten me, brighten me, frighten me, remind me that I have a pulse, that I am alive and can still feel something. Who you are, where you are, what you are, I do not know, but I am glad you are. I am so glad you are. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.